So I listened to a lady's commentary on the Trump Xi Jinping meeting. It was the first one in 6 years or over 6 years. And I listened to the commentary on it, and everybody kind of, the consensus is she looked really like he was a puppet. He looked detached, not necessarily happy or anything, gave super low energy, single word answers. Almost like everything that had been pre-decided, like he wasn't really there to negotiate at all. He was just there to say the answers that had been pre-decided. And that, America only gave up a small victory, but they got a lot in return for it. And that's cool and great and stuff, supposedly, at least in the media term. But there's two main things I think could be going on. One of them I think is going to happen no matter what, which is God and Satan are in a battle. They're in a chess match. And in any chess match, every time you take a turn, the opponent gets to take a turn too. And this might have been America's turn, where they get to have a strong seeming win at the negotiating table. But it could very well be that the next batch of negotiations, we're the one looking like deflated and like we lost. And what happens is, through negotiations, the stakes get driven higher. You're always saving the bigger thing that you're trying to negotiate for. The kill strike or the super going for the queen is always your last move. Or going for the king is the last move. And so having victories like this early on in an iterative process of negotiation, I mean, it's cool and stuff, but not that cool. It's better to have all your victories come through right at the very end, where you get the big W. Now, another reason that she might have been low energy and detached and all this stuff is maybe they've kicked off a deception plan that they know it's a deception plan. They know the deception plan is the first step to war. Maybe deceiving America is the very first step of attack, is doing negotiations where seemingly the other party believes that they've won. And you're not going to fulfill them. In fact, that you're going to rip the rug out from underneath this later, and it's going to be part of an attack. And you're not going to be able to represent a very positive energy state at all, because inside you that this is actually the beginnings of a horrible attack, and you can't help but feel like you're the dirty party for starting this attack. And that could also very well be, it could be that there's a pre-programmed, pre-packaged, pre-planned start the war with America program, and it starts off by conceding a round of negotiations in a sense. So I know this might sound like paranoia to some people, but it's how I would play ball. I mean, it's not beyond me. If I know I'm capable of doing such a thing, and I'm not even like a government paid employee, doing this stuff. But so the point I'm making is, if Joe Q Public can know these things are possible and capable, and hey, it does actually serve you to do these things, then clearly these are not artificial paranoias to make considerations for. Clearly these are legitimate strategies and tactics that are used in the warfare of negotiation. So I don't really know what's going on. I'm not going to pretend to know what's going on, but I know that America should measure out graciously and humbly to China and Xi to the highest degree we can. They are slimy little fucking pieces of shit, the whole CCP. But the point I'm making is, if America ever gets put in that short end of the stick situation, we need to really understand that we could get dealt a bag of shit later. We could get handed the short end of the stick in a negotiation round that really leaves us in a bad place. That's very possible in the future. And we must correctly assess our risks and our attack surfaces before this becomes a reality.